So, I recently made a video about how hero shooters like Apex Legends and Valorant seemingly took over the gaming world and have become some of the biggest games in the world. I still stand by that video, but it is worth mentioning that hero shooters, for all the upsides they have, still also have their downsides, and just things that just aren't great for the game. So, today we are going to go over all those downsides, or at least some of them, the major ones. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and click all the links down in the description below. Let's get started. In case you're new and like this video, I just wanted to stop and say I stream as often as I can over at twitch.tv/Crypt6, so make sure you stop by and follow me over there. But anyways, hero shooters are definitely the games to play in today's landscape. And I talk about why that is and why hero shooters took over gaming. Of course, everything good in the world is also bad. For example, you have the good of COD being the gunplay and the bad being other people. The good in Titanfall is the movement and the bad is the other camping people. In Valorant, the good is the tactical gameplay and the bad is other people killing you when you don't think they're supposed to. What I'm trying to say is, the issue is other people. Okay, I'm kidding, but the point is that despite all the positives in hero shooters, there are still negatives. When it comes to this topic, I think of three major negatives. One being balancing, two being creativity and longevity, and three, the biggest one, is power creep. So let's go through and tackle each of these individually. So downside number one to hero shooters is balancing. With hero shooters, devs are faced with hard decisions when it comes to the balancing of each ability of each character, and let's face it, a lot of the times, the wrong decision is often made. But even when the devs are doing a good job at balancing, there's still going to be abilities that are vastly more powerful and effective than others. This just goes into how the meta of video games works, but a lot of times it hits a point it should just never hit. That point is when you have to play a certain character to even be remotely competitive in the game. Once you hit the must pick zone, as I'm going to name it, I guess, that's how you know there's major issues. This is just a point that is easier to get to in hero shooters than it is to get to in non-hero shooters. Our second issue we face is creativity and longevity. Creativity in the early stages of a hero shooter is usually amazing, and they put out all these great products and characters that are super fun to play and have cool abilities. But after a few years of supporting the game and having to keep adding in more and more characters, each with their own abilities and their own kit, the devs hit a point where their ideas just aren't flowing as well, and the characters that come out end up being stupidly overpowered or completely overlooked because they're boring. This is the point where devs start to add in characters with the same abilities, just in slightly different formats over and over again. For example, you have multiple characters who have wall hacks, or multiple characters with flashes. They all just function in slightly different ways to do that wall hack or that flash. Eventually, you just run out of ideas that are healthy for the game and complement the core gameplay, and that's where the longevity issues come in. Once devs stop pumping out fresh content and characters every single month, players get bored and think they can't have as much fun because there's no new content, despite there already being vast amounts of content just to do your thing with. Anyways, that's when the game starts dying off and people start moving on. Yeah. The last issue a hero shooter faces is arguably the biggest and most serious one. Power creep is a huge issue that every single hero shooter faces eventually. SirSwag has a video about it in Apex and affectionately calls it the Overwatch problem, which is very accurate. The link is down in the description below. But let me explain power creep to you very quickly. You know when a new game releases and it's all about the gunplay, movement, and positioning, and the abilities are just small complements that enhance those core mechanics? Man, the good old days, am I right? But after a little bit, the power creep begins. More and more characters are added with more and more abilities, and eventually the game starts becoming about ability usage instead of the core of gunplay, movement, and positioning. This is why the abilities don't kill meme was so prevalent in the Valorant community when Raze was first released. The original base of Valorant was your abilities complement your gunplay, and you ultimately needed to shoot your guns to kill enemies and win games. Then they gave her a rocket launcher. This is why everyone was so mad when Seer came out in Apex. His abilities were so powerful that he became a must pick, and using his abilities properly was more important than using the core gameplay mechanics. Those are just two basic examples of this, and it's super easy just to find some more. So clearly hero-based shooters have their issues. I think the perfect shooter will be a hero shooter that takes their time to come up with new character ideas, that don't engage in power creep at all, and make sure to stay true to core gameplay mechanics. I pray every day that this game comes out so I can just pump out a bunch of content for it. But anyways, until that perfect game does come out, I'll keep uploading every Wednesday and streaming as much as I can for you guys. So make sure you like the video if you did like it, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Follow me at twitch.tv/Script6, click all the other links, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, all that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next Wednesday. GG's. Bye.